Batya Ungar-Sargon. She was on the Piers Morgan program, and this was shortly after, probably the next day or the day after Charlie's death, and she was talking about how torn she felt about, making peace, I guess, with the other side. And she's always so good at articulating
The best.
just like everything.
Mhm.
And so this was just spot on. The reason that she's having trouble, I think it's the reason we're all having trouble. Here's Baya.
I'm finding myself very caught between, on the one hand, wanting to honor his legacy of unity through debate and coming together to take down the temperature, and then wanting to honor his legacy of telling the truth. And the truth is, this is not a both sides issue. The killer killed him, according to police reports, because he found Charlie Kirk to be spreading hate. This is a view shared by every single prominent Democrat. Yes, there are people on Blue Sky advocating for violence, but what actually caused this was the utterly quotidian, utterly ubiquitous demonization of the political opposition from the left. And it has just led to violence because they said the other side were Hitler and Nazis. They said that speech is violence. To combine those two things together is to sign the death warrant of prominent conservatives.
Yes.
And that is what we are seeing again and again and again. And it is utterly facetious to suggest that there is any comparison between political violence on both sides. Every example they bring is not actually showing that, whether it's Governor Shapiro, whose attempted assassination was from a Free Palestine leftist, or whether it was the Minnesota assassinations, which were from somebody who said he was operating at the behest of Democrat Governor Tim Walz. There is a culture among Democrats at the highest level to suggest that their political opposition are a danger, and that suggests that their lives are forfeit. And I want to come together. I do. I love what Shank said. It brought tears to my eyes. I had to reach for a tissue while you were playing Charlie's words. But at the same time, we cannot unite with people who are lying to our faces about who we are, who will not take responsibility for the fact that they suggested that we are Nazis because of totally legitimate views that reflect the majority of Americans. So what I say is, let the left say we were wrong. It is legitimate to vote for Donald Trump. It is legitimate to be pro-life. It is legitimate to believe that there are only two genders, and we were wrong to suggest that that was not the case. We were wrong to say that that is hateful. When they say that, I am waiting with open arms to take down the temperature.
Right. We are not the same. We're not the same. And it's so inconvenient for them. Like the guys on that panel who are liberal were shaking their heads and they're like, but can you actually dispute what she's saying? Because you can't. She's 150% correct on all of that. And we are not the same. And that is so incredibly inconvenient and uncomfortable for these people because they have to accept that they're wrong.
Yeah, that's a big thing for the left to reckon with, to grapple with.
Right. They're actually not the victims. They're wrong.
And she also talked about how, considering the fact that, I think it's an easy statement to make that most gun owners are right wing for the most part, and yet our guns just don't go out and kill people. It's so weird. And so kind of the Democrats are actually sort of admitting that they have a problem. Here she is to explain. Right here.
One side of the political aisle in America is heavily armed, and it's the other side that commits the vast majority of political violence. There's a tacit admission from the left that their side is the violent side, because if somebody, God forbid, if a big left-wing influencer, God forbid, was killed, what they would be doing immediately is boarding up every single major city in America, because there would be rioting and looting. People would die. We know that tens, if not hundreds of people died during the BLM riots. And obviously, none of that has happened, and none of that is expected to happen, despite the fact that the right, whose avatar was just murdered in cold blood, is heavily armed, right? So there is this tacit understanding from the left, even as they call the right the source of all the political violence and fascists and Nazis and what have you, that actually the right will not pick up their arms and turn on their leftist neighbors, right? They rely on the forbearance of their conservative neighbors who are much more heavily armed not to actually take revenge.
Exactly right.
All the guys on the panel are like, I'm really pissed off I showed up today. Really?
Very, very uncomfortable right now.
Not say anything against this woman because she's way smarter than me. Yeah,
Mhm.
because she is.
She is. And I don't know how she does it, man. She can just rattle off those
Brilliant.
ideas without
brilliant.
hesitation, where I'm
Brilliant,
like,
and she's right.
yeah, she is. Megyn Kelly has just been in like random furies about this on her programs. It's just a delight. I love it when she gets super, super
too.
angry. It's my
I do
favorite
too.
Megyn.
Mhm.
And by the way, she made a point yesterday to let everybody know that she is not canceling her tour. She's taking her show on the road and has absolutely no intentions of canceling it. She is going to add security, I'm sure, but she wanted everybody to know that she is not canceling. Here she is with some of her fury, I think yesterday.
Fuck these people and their revisionism, their unwillingness to see what's obvious. Clearly, he had hatred in his heart for Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is the one who got executed.
Right.
Charlie Kirk. He did not go out and shoot a member of the squad. It's just, how do we reason with these people? It's like, it's right there in front of your face. This kid got radicalized and obviously had some sort of a psychotic break. That's the other piece of it. How many times do we have to see this shit? Like, I'm not surprised one bit to learn he was 22. Not even a little.
Right.
That he was a young man. We've seen this happen over and over. I am disturbed to see he appears to have come from a loving, intact family. And just by disturbed, I mean, were there any warning signs? You know, usually you look at like the background and you see something, you see a repeated mental health history. And to be honest, maybe there will be one. And I'm not ruling out, oh God, there was that time he killed the family cat. You know, that can still come out. Who knows?
She's right.
Yep.
She's totally right. But I am so sick and tired of the podcast, the pundits, the people on the left being like, he was MAGA. He was just like, they're grasping. He was a right winger. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. STFU. Take all the seats.
We haven't talked about it in a while, but I have still been loving Home Chef. Home Chef is making dinner preparation so much easier, so much less to think about. This is my favorite meal.
That's
pasta.
We are like I'm eating everything I can get my hands on because it's fall. It's that time of the year and we're all over the place and our schedules are nuts. And there's a lot of like stopping on the way home from practice and getting rushed and, getting takeout. And I know you guys probably have similar circumstances, but Home Chef, they have fresh ingredients, delicious meals. They make things easy. They have 35 meals, 18 extras each week. They have kid and teen friendly options, which is a bonus for me because it makes things way easier. But it's all super fresh, really easy. I have to figure out what to buy because I cannot make one more decision during the week or make one more trip to the store. They take it off my plate. And I love that. So they have classic meal kits with like the pre-portioned ingredients. They have 30-minute recipes, oven-ready options. They have microwave meals, which I got to say are my favorite because I never met a microwave that I didn't like.
Those are easy.
Right. And they make everything just a lot easier. And they have special meals for special diets. Like if you're on a particular kind of diet, they have those too. So you can get 50% off and free shipping for your first box, plus free dessert for life.
Life.
Hello. Yeah. Go to homechef.com/chicks. That's homechef.com/chicks for 50% off your first box and free dessert for life. You cannot beat that. Do it.
It was funny yesterday to see Whoopi Goldberg like have this moment of realization where she was like, wow, there's like this groundswell of support and newfound interest in participating in the political process since Charlie's death. So she had this message for her audience. I don't think she's particularly happy to be delivering it because she is realizing it's not over. It's nowhere close to over. And as Erica Kirk said, they have no idea what has been unleashed. Here is what Whoopi said yesterday.
And what assassins should always remember is just because you take somebody out doesn't mean the message is going to stop.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's important to keep that in mind because when you look at our loss of Martin Luther King or name anyone who's been assassinated in this country, we continue to fight on.
She's like, oh,
she's like,
it's not over now.
Oh shit. Yeah.
not
Oh
over.
shit is right, Whoopi.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.